Trial Tuesday, once again, today's topic, driving under the influence and child endangerment. Unfortunately, we're seeing a lot of these cases here in the Lowcountry. Attorney David Ayler joins us right now to weigh in on the legal side of things. Counselor, thanks so much for being here. We do appreciate it. Let's talk about this. It seems to be in the headlines more and more and more. People getting in these DUI accidents or stops and, having children in the car or endangering the lives of children. Tell us about it.
Yeah, absolutely. We recently saw a case where a coach has been arrested here in the Lowcountry. He was traveling with a group of students on the car. And of course, the DUI arrest comes from the driving, but then the child endangerment charges come from the fact that you had those people in the vehicle with you.
Yeah, this was a coach from the upstate that was
Correct.
on her way down here for a track meet, we believe,
Yep.
and had those 7 or 8 kids in the car.
Yep, and at least from what the reports have said, it's alleged that she had been drinking alcohol, at least from the smell. We haven't seen anything else come out from it, but that's something you have to keep in mind. It's not just sometimes the DUIs. You also have situations where people may have illegal narcotics or illegal guns, that sort of thing, and they'll also be charged with neglect or child endangerment related to that as well. But really, the DUI thing is something that really has been on the rise the last several years, and it's something that they're definitely enforcing a lot more.
And that's the thing, is that law enforcement officers, they can usually tell these things by smell, by behavior, things like that. But as soon as they find out, they're going to go after you for other charges as well, pretty much whatever they can stick on.
Absolutely. One other type of a DUI that we're seeing now a lot more, and also with the related child endangerment charges, is things related to prescription drugs. A lot of people have this misnomer that if you're on prescription drugs and they're your actual prescriptions, that you can't get a DUI, and that's completely wrong. And unfortunately, sometimes people have issues with these medications, but then they take them. They're taking their children to school, picking their children up from school. They're in that same boat, no matter if they just walked out of a bar.
Is there some kind of legal threshold right now? I mean, and what is that, if there is one that exists? I mean, what's the difference between, being a little, let's say, fuzzy when you take too much NyQuil versus child endangerment in a car?
It really comes down to being impaired. You can be impaired on caffeine. There was a recent case of a local or celebrity that came out that claimed that they had a prescription to Adderall, and that was their own Adderall. Well, if you take too many Adderall, you're still under the influence. There was a Red Bull actual DUI out west a few years ago. So whether it be NyQuil, some sort of caffeinated product, or any type of medication that, of course, has that symbol on it, even if it is your own medication, you still are impaired behind the wheel if you take too much of it, or you take it when you're not supposed to be driving at all. And if a child's in the car, it's no different than having, like I said, drinking an excess amount of beer, wine, or vodka, or something like that.
And like you said, this isn't just prescription stuff. It can be over the counter. You can get this stuff at any drugstore.
Absolutely. When you combine things like NyQuil with maybe lack of sleep, painkillers is something that we often see related to DUI. Somebody with migraines or back problems, when they take those pain medicines and either mix it with a little bit of alcohol or take an excessive amount, and you get behind the wheel, you're in that same position as anyone else who may have consumed too much alcohol.
Clearly, you face jail time for a DUI charge, but I think the chances of going to jail exponentially increase when there's a child endangerment. What exactly are the penalties for that?
Well, it depends on what all the different circumstances are, but I think what you're pointing to most importantly is the fact it's an aggravated circumstance. You have the misdemeanor charge of the 30 days potential if it's a DUI first. If there's children involved, there could be felony charges. You're looking at a lot more serious penalties. And then also you may even have things like Department of Social Services come in, and that's a whole nother review that would come in play regardless of the criminal outcome.
Yeah, clearly not a good thing. So might as well just find somebody else to take your kid in and stay off the roadways for a while until it passes. Attorney David Ayler, thank you for your time, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Do appreciate it. As always, and more Lowcountry Live coming up in just a couple of minutes, so stay with us.
Trial Tuesday, brought to you by attorney David Ayler.